sana. JKIA iko na workers over 20,000 pale katika JKIA na familia ambazo wana support. Alafu mtu anatoka kule India anakuja hapa kufanya biashara Kenya. Fanya biashara India kwanza. Hapa Kenya wacha wa Kenya wafanye biashara yao hapa Kenya. Na ukitaka kuinvest Kenya, kuja ununue shamba ujenge airport yako kama Adani. Sio iko sawa? Na uajiri wa Kenya hapo. Si ati kukuja kuchukua airport ya wananchi. Kenyans only need 238 billion for the expansion of an airport. Hiyo 238 billion yezi shinda serikali ya Kenya ku expand its own airport na kuongeza jobs hapa ndani. The moment tumekubalia Adani kuchukua airport yetu, tuta lose kazi. Pesa itatoka Kenya kuenda nje. Na hiyo in economics ya ikubaliki hata kidogo. Inaitwa foreign absorption. Hiyo haiwezi grow nchi yetu. Kwa hivyo Adani tunakuon kabisa. JKIA is my constituency. And we are not going to allow you and President Ruto kuwa na utu. Kuwa na utu kabisa kwa Wakenya. Wakenya wanakulipa tax, hawaoni chochote. Wanafanya mambo mingi, hawaoni chochote. Lakini wewe umeamua lazima uadhibu. Samea Wakenya wajakukosea. Wasamea wajakukosea. Wewe kama rais kazi yako ni kucreate environment nzuri ya biashara. Si kuhakikisha ya kwamba Wakenya wanadhulumiwa. Umeshadhulumu Wakenya kama Mkenya, tena unaleta foreigners tena pia wadhulumu Wakenya. Lakini Adani, be warned, you will not succeed in taking Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. And we are not going to allow that. Hiyo ni sawa. Na hiyo maandamano ya JKIA iproceed. Iprocedure ni constituency yangu, mimi ndo napeana license ya demonstration. The demonstration at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, I'm the one who gives the license and it should proceed. License iko open mpaka 2028. Watu wa demo kama ni kila siku. Asanteni sana.
As you see, there have been quite a bit of innuendos about Adani. And I've explained that this is a reputable company, by my knowledge. And this company actually has done very many PPP projects. I mentioned that we visited India at the invitation of then Chief Minister of State of Gujarat, Narendra Modi. And he introduced us to several Indian conglomerates. Adani was one of them. One was Mr. Ratan Tata, who was also there at the conference that we attended. And then we visited a project that was done through a PPP by Adani in a place called Mundra. This was a marsh land next to the sea, 5,000 hectares of land, which was granted to the Adanis by the government of Mr. Modi. They drained the swamp and constructed a deep sea port to import coal from Indonesia. And then they put up a power plant, coal-fired, 4,600 megawatts in that place. The Tata Group then also came and put up another second power plant, another 4,600 megawatts, a total of 9,200 megawatts of power in that same spot only. Not only that, they also built a railway line, 100 kilometers, to connect that port to the major railway network. A sleeping village of 5,000 people must soon to become a town of 200,000 people, as many industries rush to go and invest in that place. They also built an airport in that same place. This was a real success story of a PPP. Then also the Bombay airport, which had been fly-infested international airport. When it was given through PPP, they took it over and converted it into a very modern a first-class airport today, it is today. The same thing with the airport in Delhi. So what I'm trying to say is that we've seen firsthand what some of these companies are able to do, what PPP can do to an economy. And therefore what I'm trying to say is not to try to ostracize PPP as a concept. It's a concept that has worked very well around the world. And I'm also saying that there needs to be transparency in dealing with these issues. Otherwise, you're likely to try to condemn very reputable companies. As we see stories like Adani Gate. Adani company conglomerate is worth over $200 billion. It cannot be an Adani Gate. Deal with issues as they are. If some people have made mistakes, let them own up that they made some mistakes. But do not begin to condemn innocent companies who are basically doing normal commercial transactions.
It is true. Power really intoxicates. You see, what I actually expected was that the CS, I mean, John has been one of my greatest friends, for real. I mean, I started ODM with him in 2005. We were really young boys. I mean, we've been slonging it out. And he's most reasonable. I mean, you'll never find Bandi being crazy, whichever way you look at it. He's always reasonable. There was always that extra element of him being cautious and raising the issues if need be. So what, for me, what blows our minds up is that, I mean, let me ask you, how do we take $2 billion and give it to one company? And this company is going to do something for our country which we don't know, except a few people. What we've been going through is that, I mean, like my case, this is information that was sent over to me, which then I picked up and slowly began to think what to do with it. These are individuals of good faith who are saying, you guys, do you notice that nyumba imeenda? So I was like, what are you saying? What we want our leadership to do, the Adani case for me, Ayub, yeah, is a true representation of our failure as members of parliament, as members of the Senate, as leadership, where our natural resources are being shared by individuals who are least interested to know what we feel. And what is even more complex and more difficult to understand, only that now when you go deeper and you begin to interrogate, you understand what happened with the Gupta family in South Africa. Mm-hmm. They destroyed the power supply company called Eskom. They then moved in and started supplying the military with arms, which were usually, they would never supply new arms. They would supply used and rehabilitated arms which are painted, and they would lie to the public. That came out in the report which was presented in South Africa. In fact, my honest observation is that I'm going to persuade my colleagues that we need a special commission to investigate this thing, because it's gone even beyond our capacity. Why? You have Adani now being the main mother of the company Adani Power something, which is going to take over Ketraco. Then you have Adani, which is now also the negotiations which are taking place for them to take over Kengen. Adani is interested in making sure that they take over geothermal. Then Adani is supposed to be handling, if you notice the letters which were written by the other companies, the ones that presented, all those letters are asking for these people to go and visit all the airstrips in Kenya. Mm-hmm. All right, I have those letters. If you see them, one letter is saying, allow us to have access to Eldoret, Mombasa, we want to go to Kisumu and Lodwar. I've been saying over and over and over, the problem with Adani is not that they are targeting KQ. Mm-hmm. I mean the JKIA. Okay. They are actually targeting the whole infrastructure of all our 9 airports.